What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Devin the Bear. Here after post 2 UFC 288. A little bit to discuss, something that me and you have gone back and forth about. So we're like, fuck it, let's make an episode about it, right?
Kind of. That's usually how this comes around.
Yeah, right? And so...
I mean, that's how the whole podcast started.
Look at that. Boom. So we have came full circle. I shouldn't have paused right there. That sounded kind of weird.
Right.
We have, I don't know, man. Either way, back at it again with some fucking talk about some fights. And so let's get right to it. Fucking dude, preliminary card. We saw some great knockouts, which are always fun. Matt Frivola beating Drew Dober. We were just talking about that. That was fucking legit. It was really cool to see Matt Frivola get a solid win. I feel like a lot of people really wrote him off after he got knocked out in 7 seconds by Terrence McKinney.
Yeah, and I thought that was a little wild. I think you had mentioned it when I had said Matt Frivola can take shots.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, he got knocked out, so it's Terrence McKinney won.
Yeah.
And wasn't it from a knee?
No.
No, what was it? I don't remember.
It was a punch.
Was it a punch? Well,
Yeah.
Either way, it's Terrence McKinney.
But no, I was just what's it called? Sorry, I just want to check something real quick.
Oh yeah, no, you're good.
But yeah.
But yeah, I knew what he was about, and I'm not too shocked. I definitely thought Drew Dober would have stayed up in the first round. Really surprised he got dropped. Because it was the first round or second round?
First round, yeah.
First round, yeah. That's what I thought. I'm really surprised he got dropped in the first round. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, but he usually gets tagged in the first round, though. That's kind of how he is. Drew Dober is a good fighter. I enjoy watching him fight.
I should say, I'm surprised he got finished in the first round.
Okay. So I see what you mean. It was just surprised he got finished in general.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What's it called? But like Drew Dober gets tagged. He's really fun to watch. He hits hard as shit. He's got a fucking jawline chiseled by like the Greek gods or some shit. Like he's got like a marble granite chin, you know? And Matt Frivola just came out there looking solid when it came to the feet. He looked really good. He was doing all the right things. He was getting touched, but I mean, it's just bound to happen. You can't always go into a fight and not get hit, you know? But yeah, he went out there and he dropped Drew Dober, and then he got the TKO. Some people were saying it was an early stoppage. I don't think that shit was early. I think it was, you have to, the health and safety of the fighter is the most important thing, you know? And that's what Herb Dean had to protect. I think it's who it was Herb Dean. But
I think so.
Yeah, and so they have to take that in consideration. And Drew Dober popped up pretty quick, but like he just showed that it was a bad stoppage. But he couldn't even stand on his feet really well. You know, like he couldn't keep his balance on his feet after. So I think it was a very good stoppage. I know you made a little point about like solidifying the stoppage.
Yeah, I think let Frivola take a couple more shots.
Yeah.
I think that would have kind of given us a bit more clarity, because if Dober takes those shots clean, stop that fight.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one, let him take the one shot clean, and it's like, okay, yeah, no. Because you get dropped, you don't always pop right back up. And sometimes you are a little wobbly after that. Look how many times we see, like look at Kevin Lee and how the chicken dance meme we got from him.
Yeah.
Imagine if the fight had stopped then. Look at freaking Chet Congo and Pat Barry. Imagine if the fight had been stopped, one of those 30 times when Chet Congo was falling all over the place.
Yeah.
Sometimes you let it go, and sometimes you don't. I'm not upset with the stoppage, really. I just think that if there was one more hit that landed clean, I'd have been like, that's, good stoppage. But it was a stoppage. I'm not upset with it. I wouldn't say it's a good stoppage, but it wasn't bad by any means.
If he was trying to protect himself and his head was in like a rested position, then it'd be like, okay, like he's just trying to protect himself. He's not really fully in there. But I still think it was a good stoppage, though. I'm happy for Matt Frivola. He called out Paddy Pimblett with the classic,
I'm happy with that.
The vintage Sonnen call out.
Yeah, you absolutely suck. I was so happy he said that, and I hope everyone connected the dots back to Chael Sonnen.
And so also, like somebody pointed out right after, is like, if Terrence McKinney can knock him out in 7 seconds, what do you think Paddy Pimblett's going to do to him? And I'm like, not a fucking thing. That's what I think is going to happen.
I don't.
Yeah. No.
I don't get that. That's not the kind of fighter Paddy Pimblett is, but
not at all. And so
I'm a big fan. I'm not saying he's incapable of it. I'm just saying that's not the way he fights.
And so he's Patty said some shit though after it. He was just like, I'm hurt. I don't know why these guys keep calling me out while I'm hurt. And it's like, motherfucker, nobody knows you're hurt. Like these guys don't keep up with the media.
Well,
like
I don't even care that he's hurt. You called yourself the new name, the new face. You're the big cash cow now. That's what you called yourself.
Yeah.
What do you think people are gonna do? They're gonna call you out.
Yeah. You know. So I mean,
of course you're injured.
You're not Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is he was calling himself the new cash out, but he proved that he is, and he also has the skills to back it up. You know. But comparing fighters is like comparing guitar players. You know, it's like everyone has a different style, especially in different divisions as well. But yeah, the main card was pretty solid. So we what's it called? We saw Charles Jourdain in a weird fight against Cron Gracie.
We won't even.
Yeah,
that fight shouldn't even have been on the main card. I think I texted you that just as it started, something like that. But I didn't understand why that was on the main card and not Dober and Frivola. But whatever. Cron, whatever that dude, Cron Gracie.
Just one of the most well-known last names in the game. You know?
I don't care that his last name is Gracie. I was hyped for him when he first came into the UFC, and then I watched his fights and I was like, never mind. Why is he there? Just his last name. Moving on.
So we'll move on. Mosvar Evloev. Yeah. See, there we go.
With that fight, I'm also fine if you mispronounce it. Who cares? That fight was okay.
I've been practicing this.
Well, then I'm sorry to cut your hard work out from under you.
It's okay. Evloev.
Evloev. Who cares? Not that we don't care. It's more of just
we got some shit to talk about.
He got a short fight replacement, a short notice replacement, and he went in there and handled business safely. Yeah, it is what it is.
Diego Lopez, though, dude,
he showed up, and they gave him a win bonus.
Which I mean, it's fucking awesome. I mean, he got paid, $15,000. He got paid $15,000 now.
But hey, I mean, that's a big deal for someone.
It is, yeah. I'm just talking shit. He probably got paid like $30,000. I think he also got. Let me see who fight. Yeah, they were Friday the night, so he got a pretty check for his first fight in the UFC, and I'm looking forward to his next fight. Like, I say give him a top 15. Fuck it, give him Bryce Mitchell. I think it'd be a fun fight. I know that's early to say, but just because Bryce has to prove himself against,
I don't know. That's tough. I wouldn't give him Bryce Mitchell yet because that's beyond top 15.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Bryce has got to show where he belongs.
Well, you know me. I'm not a fan of people being pushed too fast. This guy getting pushed because, like, imagine if they had given Chris Matinho after he lost to Sean O'Malley. Like, they're like, all right, well, you stepped in short notice to take this thing for us. We really appreciate it. Rob Font.
Just
it's like horrible.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, well, the thing is Chris Matinho didn't put on a performance like how Diego Lopez did though. He didn't.
I don't know.
Diego was in there in the first and third round. I think the only down, like for sure, round that Mosvar had was the second round. Besides that, though, it was back and forth. It was Yeah,
it's tough because I don't think Matinho was ever out of the fight. And I know we're getting off topic, and we'll get right back to it. But Matinho was never out of the fight.
Yeah,
like he was never a fight really, but he was never out of the fight. He was always pushing forward. He was always trying.
Yeah.
To me, Diego Lopez was just doing the same exact thing, but he was actually landing.
I think he was in the fight way more than Matinho was, though, in the sense of like he was actually.
Well, I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying Matinho was never out of the fight. So I think as far as a performance for what that case was, I think it's as good as it gets.
Yeah, but like fucking, I don't know. Matinho was also like the Stan Marsh of like that whole fight.
The what?
He was Stan Marsh. Like he didn't hear no bell. He just kept walking forward, getting beat up.
Yeah, and as far as fans go, like that was insane. People loved it.
It was crazy, yeah.
So, but I think he took proper, I lost my train of thought. He did his best with it with what he was given, and I think Diego Lopez did the same thing.
Yeah,
it was very exciting. It was good, but Moscar's just gonna do what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a competitive fight, and I don't think Mosvar was expecting that at all.
Mosvar.
Yeah, Mosvar. Yeah.
No, I'm messing up names.
See, look at that. Fucking, it's contagious. So also you had Jean Chenon get a really sick.
Shonen.
Yeah, she got a sick fucking knockout.
She earned it. She got a knockout.
Yeah, she really did though. I was surprised. I had her winning though. I thought she was gonna win because Jessica Andrade just kind of depends on her like wide and strong power to be able to do something. and that only does so much because I know she's able just to walk right through most of these women in this
I was about
division.
to say it's worked every time
Yeah.
almost, except against champions.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Which
she's
Jan's not a champion, so that's why I was like, I don't think it's gonna work.
I
don't
thought
think she's gonna be able to handle it.
I didn't expect her to get a knockout, but I wasn't surprised like that she won though. You know what I mean? Like I didn't expect it to be a finish. I thought she was gonna take it by decision. But Jessica Andrade, she's good, but I just think that that style when it comes to that certain level of the division, you just can't do it anymore. You know. And but yeah, no, that was pretty legit. So co-main event time: Bilal Muhammad beating Gilbert Burns by decision. I don't want to talk about it right now.
Oh yeah, you gonna
Yeah.
cry?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, Gilbert was hurt, and everybody wants to talk about that. You know, I don't care. Let's talk about the winner, Bilal. When are we gonna give him a title shot? The winner, Bilal Muhammad, undefeated, well, unbeaten.
It's gonna be like 2030, and it's gonna be a Bilal Muhammad still fighting for number one contendership.
They're gonna be like, all right, Bilal, you're fighting. I don't know who's a really young welterweight right now.
You're fighting
Devin Salcedo.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna be a welterweight. I'm gonna grow like 6 inches and just maintain my weight I'm at right now. And so we'll be
just imagining that. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Bilal. It's just like Aljo. He's got wins left and right, and it's just never mattered. And this one is a win over a very impressive opponent, and people are like, well, he was injured, so
yeah. But
he got injured in the fight. Yeah. Oh, did he have injuries before the fight? So did Bilal. So does everyone in every single fight that ever happens.
Yeah,
it's just how it is. It's the name of the game. Gilbert shouldn't have taken the fight if he wasn't ready. Just like we said the same thing with TJ Dillashaw when he fought Aljo. He shouldn't have taken the fight if he wasn't ready. This is the repercussions of that. I don't think they should rematch. I don't think that Bilal needs to fight anyone else. Give him a title shot.
Yeah, I think with the Gilbert Burns case though, it is a little different than because TJ's shoulder was out of socket that whole camp. You know,
I'm just saying in the sense of people are trying to put an asterisk next to it, and I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it needs it.
What's with John Jones fucking not being able to finish Thiago Santos when he had no legs? You know, I mean, it happens. And,
it happens.
You know, it sucks that it happens, but like with Gilbert Burns, like at any point in the fight, he could just look at his coach and say, "Hey, I can't."
Thiago Santos just popped for PEDs.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
Yeah, so did 3 other fighters.
Like the entire fucking like light heavyweight tournament
over at PFL. Yeah,
I was like, Jesus, guys, like fucking, all you gotta do is just not freaking inject steroids and you're good. But yeah, I don't know, man, but it's with fucking Gilbert Burns, like, you know, we've seen fighters that are hurt and they just tell them like I can't go back out there. You know, we've seen it with Kevin Holland, and his coach was like, your hand's broken, I'm not sending you back out there. And there's nothing, people will try to shame other people about it, but there's nothing wrong with living to fight another day. Especially whenever your hands are what get you paid. It's just you gotta fucking do what you gotta do. But Gilbert Burns was in there, but Bilal fought the perfect fight, and people were talking shit saying, well, he couldn't finish a one-armed guy. Like, what the fuck do you want him to do? Like, have no respect for his opponent and just go out there and punch him in the fucking shoulder like Jose Aldo did, and just get, you know, it's like regardless if he had one arm or not, the one hand that he had is the one that is knocking people out.
Yeah. And then you look at people like Roxanne Modafferi when she fought Macy Barber, who destroyed her ligaments in her leg in their fight. And Roxanne just went in there and kept taking her down and kept telling her, like, hey, are you okay? You need to quit. You need to quit. Yeah. And that's what she kept telling her throughout the course of the fight. And it's like everybody had respect for her for that. But Bilal just, shut up.
Yeah. I mean, he
was no cool. Respect.
He was cool about that shit. Like, what if he would have like took him down and tried to get said, "Fuck it, I'm going for a Kimura."
Which even then, like, do you really want to take down Gilbert Burns, one arm or not?
Yeah, I will.
It's good.
Fuck it.
Well, you might, but you're not fighting for a title shot. You're not defending an 8-fight win streak.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
so technically, I'm still undefeated though.
Yeah, you never lost.
Yeah,
not in the UFC.
Look at that.
But yeah, I don't understand why Bilal's not being treated like he should. Yeah. You know, when Kamaru was making his way up, everybody was really hyped on him, saying he should be the champion, or he will be the champion. Where is that for Bilal? Where was that for Leon, for that matter? So I think the two guys who deserve the title shot is the current champion, who I hope he beats Colby.
Yeah, and Colby's a tough fight.
I like Colby. I don't like his character. I know a lot of people hate him, but I like Colby. I wouldn't mind if he was the champion. I just don't really want him to beat Leon to do it, to be there.
Yeah.
And I want Leon and Bilal to fight again, because that would be a great fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bilal's proven that he deserves a rematch. You know, when he was coming into that fight, I think Leon was top 5 and Bilal wasn't even top 10. He just got the chance to prove himself against a top 5 fighter, and he wasn't ready for it, you know. Yeah. And even, you know, I know that did end in no contest, but he wasn't ready for that fight. And with where Bilal is at now and how he's shown how good he's gotten since, I think he's there to prove that, you know, not only is he a top 5 fighter, but he's a title contender as well. He showed a lot of great boxing. He, like you said, he actually went into the fight with an injured left leg in the foot as well, and you could kind of see because he's pretty flat-footed, but he's still able to like really whip those kicks out there. He did a good job in the stand-up. It's he's very fundamentally sound, but he's also kind of stiff. He's not like Gilbert. Gilbert's kind of like a smooth flow with his stand-up, you know. But like
sometimes, other times it's just these big hectic, looping punches.
Yeah, and so like it's just like Gilbert's stand-up is more fluid. But like while Bilal's is very tight and, you know, boxing oriented, but he's also able to really get some good kicks out there as well. And he beat that body up with those kicks, dude. Like that shit. I was watching that and I'm like, I would have fucking thrown up by now. So he was trying to make him piss blood, dude. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do in a fight. And I don't know. I think Bilal just fought the perfect fight. And it's like every single time we see him in these 5-round fights, we're seeing another career best performance, you know. So I also don't know if like what's gonna happen with Leon if Colby's. I think Colby's a much tougher fight than him and Kamaru.
I think so too. Colby has I don't know tougher. It's tough. That's MMA math not working because they're similar, but they're similar as far as caliber, but they're very different in styles. Colby has great boxing, it's very good technique, but his wrestling is his strength, obviously.
Yeah.
Leon has great kickboxing, and his grappling is good enough to keep him on the feet.
Yeah, and he's got really good takedown defense. We saw in the third Usman fight. I think with Colby too, though, it's just like he doesn't really hit hard, but he disguises his takedowns a lot better than Kamaru does, and he's really able to pressure you against the fence really well. But I was talking with somebody. They said, "You think Colby can really come back after like being gone for like a year or two and beat Leon?" I was like, 100%. Like I don't think you understand how good fucking Colby Covington is. Like he can take a year layoff and come back out of nowhere and win the title.
And I think a big part of that is just when you're a wrestler, like the way that he was, the way that Henry Cejudo was. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. The kind of like work ethic that you have, you're set for the rest of your life. Yeah, like you don't quit that stuff.
Especially like being like Colby, like his only 2 losses in the UFC. Well, 2 of his 3 losses in the UFC. 2 of them were against another wrestler, but like he knows that like okay, I know I'm not the best. I'm gonna keep working to get the best because some wrestlers get very just dependent on the wrestling and they don't train as hard. But Colby's like, I just want to get better in general, and he's always working, he's always training, he's always in shape. That's why he was able to show up to the fucking to the Usman fight, and show up and make weight. He has the backup. Like it's because he's ready to fight all the time. He stays training, and I don't think a lot of fighters really do that because when they get to that certain point, they're like, okay, I'm already here. I just need to just work on sharpen my skills in fight camp, you know. But it's really cool to see that kind of work ethic, though, because a lot of guys don't really have that kind of shit. And even at the top tier level, they don't have that shit, you know? Yeah. So, but, I mean, that fight's got to get booked before we can even get into more detail about that. So, so the main event, we got Aljamain Sterling defeating Henry Cejudo by split decision. And so,
a lot of people didn't, or I think a lot of people are split, at least. Yeah. I think Aljo won that fight. It was close. It was a good fight. I think a lot of people were surprised with how well Henry was able to come in and put on the performance he did. He was definitely the energy in that fight, and Aljo did enough to protect the title. And that's, I don't think that there's much of an argument against it because that's what happened. And I think the 5th round is the one that's most questionable. Yeah. But if you go and watch that round, like anytime Henry started getting something going, or at least started trying to get something going, Aljo would throw counter strikes, and he would throw some really stiff punches and some really stiff kicks that landed really clean, but it was always just ones. and maybe he was trying to coast and just keep Henry off of him because he knew he was going to win. Maybe. But it's enough to win, and if you're the champion, you can do that. You can afford to do that. The challenger is the one that can't afford to do it because they may not get another title shot. So Henry came in there. He tried his best. Aljo was too long, and he used his reach, which is something that we talked about. So I'm not surprised, and I'm happy that it was a good fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight. It wasn't not necessarily a barn burner, but it was a good fight though, and they went back and forth. I think people don't really see it as it's happening in real time, but how elusive Aljamain is.
Yeah.
Like his striking defense is really top tier. It's still a little unorthodox. I wish he would kind of clean some things up just to make it more solid, but then when he did land, he landed. The takedowns, I mean, it seemed like when it's like the takedowns that Henry got were like solid takedowns, the 3 that he did get, and it seemed like anytime he was able to wrap up that he was going to get a takedown, but it felt that way. But he went 3 for 8 on takedowns. Aljamain went 4 for 15, which is just I mean, you know, he was just able to get him down more. When it came to the stand up, it just seemed that Aljamain just was like you said, he was able to use that reach more. And it was I gave Cejudo the 1st and 5th round, but I had Aljamain winning the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
So, I think a lot of times when Cejudo had Aljamain, like he didn't get the takedown and Aljamain was stuck on his hands and knees.
Yeah.
I think that he could have taken advantage of those moments more. He was trying to get something else going, and I wish that he would have just circled around and got his back.
Yeah.
We know he can do it. Freaking Brock Lesnar can do it.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar did it with Randy Couture. You see how easily he transitioned there, and I think Henry Cejudo could do it probably better.
Yeah.
I say probably facetiously. Chill out, everybody. If anyone cares, but I think Cejudo probably could have taken Aljo's back. Maybe it's not what he wanted to do. I don't know. But I think that Aljo showed that he can be typecasted with his acting.
Yeah.
And trying to get for the bait the knee, just like he did with Jan.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to get that same role in every movie now.
Yeah. What's it called? That's a good point that you bring up, because so what it reminds me of is the conversation that Demetrius Johnson was having with Joe Rogan. He talked about being in full mount whenever him and Henry were training together. Yeah. And so he went for the armbar. And Henry was like, why didn't you just keep punching? He's like, because I'm trying to finish the fight. He said, yeah, but you could have just kept punishing him there. And so I feel like that right there is just more of a mentality thing on Henry's part, that he just wants to keep punching rather than he wants to punch rather than position.
Yeah.
And so that right there is like, that's why, you know, like somebody like Demetrius Johnson is considered the greatest of all time, you know, is because he's able to sit there and be like, how can I put you in a more vulnerable position? And I think that's just, it's an interesting thing. Maybe I'm just like diving too deep into what Demetrius said, and I don't really know what's going on in Henry's head in that part, but it was like thinking about that. It's just like Henry wants to punch rather than get his back, and it's like you could have got his back multiple times with that shit. And I know,
because if you go and look at it, Aljo's face was all the way down in the mat.
Yeah.
And there's no way he could have gotten up in time with how fast Cejudo can be.
Yeah.
With the transition like that, you go north-south to back take.
Yeah.
That's basic stuff. He could have done that so easily.
Yeah. I mean, just literally just sat on him while he's going back. Like,
put his belly and again, maybe there's a reason they didn't want to. Maybe when you're a good wrestler, maybe even an average wrestler knows better, and they're like, no, that's because you can do that, but it's going to end up like this.
Yeah.
Maybe, because I don't know. But just watching it, and from what I do know, I see that, and I'm like, I know Cejudo could have taken his back.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason. If there is, let us know what you think. Maybe.
Also, just with, like, if they're in a sprawl position, like, it still kind of benefits Aljamain, you know? Because, like, he has a longer limbs, so if he was sprawled down, Aljamain could have just wrapped up one of his legs and then just started, whatever that Henry wanted to do. It's hard because he's so much shorter than Aljamain. I know that the height didn't really like play too much of a difference when it comes to the grappling exchanges between them two, but yeah, I don't know. It was kind of fucked up. But I mean, like with Aljamain though, it's just like he knows that Henry doesn't know what to do. Like what's he gonna do? Punch him in the top of the head? You know, I mean,
knee him in the head.
Yeah, knee him in the head. I would.
That's what I'm saying. He used that acting that he did against Peter Yan, and
yeah.
He's like, look, I can still do that.
I can exploit this role. Yeah. You know, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's kind of fucked up, but there's really nothing wrong with it.
He's Liam Neeson of it. He's getting typecasted as that one guy.
There's nothing wrong with exploiting rules, though, man. They make these fucking things for a reason, and it's just like they're not going to change them. There's no we're not seeing any changes to MMA rules within the foreseeable future. You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it works, it works. If fucking Henry just gets too frustrated and decides to throw a fucking kick and kick him, then it's just like, well, you just cost yourself the title,
Yep.
you know, because you couldn't control your emotions. But we've seen that before where guys just say fuck it and they throw something illegal knowing because they're too pissed off, you know.
It's like some stuff Eddie Guerrero would do.
But yeah, I mean, just say.
Am I wrong?
No, yeah, but
Like if Eddie Guerrero was an MMA fighter and all of his title fights were like by getting his opponent disqualified by baiting them into something, that's absolutely something he would do.
Oh man, dude, the video I sent you of Kurt Angle talking about him and Eddie Guerrero getting into a fight is like my favorite fucking thing. Because JBL's like, why would you try to double leg an Olympic level wrestler? He's like, because I'm a fucking idiot. That's why. And I'm like, that's great, dude. But yeah, nah, man. I mean, we've seen it. Like I was saying, we've seen it before. Guys just get frustrated because somebody's exploiting a role and they say fucking throw the knee.
Yeah,
We've seen that shit live.
Hey, yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't think he got frustrated and did that. I think he just threw it because he was like, "Hey, look."
Oh, ref didn't stop me. Let me throw another one.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he's limp. Let me throw another one. It's like, yeah, man. But what's it called now? We got. I mean, the one thing that annoyed me right after that fight was like, they brought Sugar Sean into the cage. They don't even fucking tell him he's coming in. I'm getting too loud. I'm too close to the microphone. But sorry, it's like they don't tell him, hey, he's right behind you. He's just still talking shit about them. Like if Sean was an asshole, he could have just walked up and fucking big faced him. He could have punched him. Like it's like he's talking shit, and then Sean's just like Sean could be like, nah, he's making me look like a bitch, so I got to do something about this. Like that could have went way south, and in Dana's eyes, it already went even more south than it should have. But because they gave. I don't know why Sean O'Malley gave his fucking jacket to
I thought that was hilarious.
And then Marab just sitting there like a
Marab
little
looked
kid.
so adorable in the little red leather jacket, the Michael Jackson jacket.
Yeah,
that was
dude.
like he looked like the little brother.
Yeah, like look, I'm wearing my dad's clothes or some shit. Like
That was so funny.
He's just in there fucking cheesing, dude. He was so excited, and then he hops on the cage, and I don't know what the fuck he was. He's getting the crowd all hyped, and then Sean tries to fight him. He's like, "What are you trying to fight him for? Like, what's the point, dude?"
Yeah, he's like, I wish they would fight though. I wish they would book that.
Yeah,
Marab and O'Malley.
I know. Cejudo wants to fight Marab in August 19th is what they're shooting.
Didn't
for.
Marab have a fight?
No, he's actually hurt. He hurt. He has.
Did he have a fight when he got hurt? I thought he had a matchup.
No. He didn't have. I think there were. Oh, there were talks. There were talks about him fighting Umar. And,
Okay.
They wanted him to fight Umar, but he was hurt, so he couldn't fight. And this is right after his like really good performance against fucking what's his name, Pitorian. So, but yeah, so I know Cejudo wants him on August 19th, which is in Boston, UFC Boston. It's gonna be a pay-per-view, but it's also the anniversary when he won his gold medal, which would be really really cool to see that fight. You know, I think it just
I just wish it was against someone else because I feel like Marab is the next guy. I don't know. I just want that to be cleared up because I feel like if you give Cejudo Marab, say he beats Marab, what do we do now?
Yeah.
If Aljo moves up, who gets the title? Who fights for the vacant title?
Yeah.
Marab and Cejudo.
That's a good point.
So don't do that.
Yeah, maybe give it to Sanhagen and Cejudo if he wins, fucking I don't know, man. But Aljamain was actually pretty funny when he was calling out Sean O'Malley though. He's like, "Sure, Sean, will get that sweet ass in your bitch." I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, yeah, nah, man. That shit was funny though. But yeah, then a fight almost broke out, and Dana White's like, yeah, we don't need to be doing that. Like, I didn't expect that to go that south. I'm like, these are professional fighters. What the fuck do you expect is gonna happen? This isn't boxing. Like, you know.
Also, I wish we would understand that just because you put the word professional in there doesn't mean there's going to be a lot of professionalism with these guys.
There's only one true professional in the sport, and he retired back at UFC 217.
Chael Sonnen?
What? No. Fucking GSP, dude.
No, just kidding. But yeah, like I remember there was an issue. I can't remember who it was with, but it was Tito Ortiz and someone else, and they got into it, and Tito showed up to the press conference in a t-shirt and like sweats, like he always did.
Yeah.
And Dana had a problem with it, and he's like, it's unprofessional, this and that. And then whoever it was that Tito got into it with got interviewed, and he was like, unprofessional, like we're fighters. What are we supposed to be professional about?
Yeah.
We're fighters, dude. What do you think's gonna happen? We're basically a bunch of dudes in a gym that get to go in on a stage and beat each other up instead. That's all we do in our gym, so who cares? And I was like, I I agree with that a lot. I think that you are representing an organization, and I think a lot of fighters do that really, really well. I think Cejudo does that really, really well. Even though he's cringy and dumb, it's a gimmick, and that's the extent of his craziness. You never have to worry about him getting into a fight with someone.
Yeah.
Aljo talks a lot of trash. He might.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm really worried about Sean O'Malley getting into a fight with someone, but I could see him instigating one.
Yeah.
But when you put those guys in a cage and think you're about to get this sick promo like a WWE one,
yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen?
It makes no fucking sense, man. I don't know.
They're not actors. They're fighters.
I think the way that what's it called, Aljamain, like how hyped up he was because he just defended the title and shit. I think Sean O'Malley was taken back a little bit by it. It was like, oh fuck, like
just like with Conor when all of Khabib's guys went in there, and he had to fight them.
Yeah,
like it's the same thing. There's so much adrenaline and everything. You put all these fighters into a cage, whether they're fighting or not. A fight just happened.
A lot of testosterone in there, man.
A lot of feelings, a lot of feelies.
Dude, what's it called? Did you ever see that slip and rip that Conor did on one of Khabib's teammates?
Yeah. That's
so nice,
that's what
dude.
I'm talking about.
It was so nice.
You're talking about in the cage after he lost?
Yeah, it was right after he tapped out and shit.
And they all jumped in there, and I forgot what made him start what started everything, but yeah, like he had to freaking go fight again.
Yeah.
And it's like, you let a ton of fighters go into a cage, like, what do you have officials there for?
Yeah, and then the dude tried to like clinch up with him after he hit him. Oh, dude, it's fucking awesome. It's actually terrible, but it's great. I enjoy it. But
yeah, hey, man, I enjoy it too because it's real at least.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know what I was thinking about, like when I randomly thought about when Ilya Taporia, tried to run into Patty while he's doing autographs on the posters in there, or he's eating lunch. That's what he was doing. He was eating lunch.
Like threw something at him.
He fucking smacked fucking Patty's eggs off the counter. He's like, me fucking eggs lot. Like, all fucking pissed. And I think about that, but Ilya like showed up with like 4 dudes for Patty, and he's one person. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, also with that shit, I'm like, y'all are pro fighters. Why are y'all gonna jump somebody?
Yeah, why do you need a posse?
Yeah.
Do 1-on-1 or don't do it at all.
Yeah. And then I'm not even gonna talk about
because we're from the streets, man.
I was gonna talk about the Nate Diaz shit, but we're not even going there, dude. Fuck that. So, Jailton Almeida taking on Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Yeah.
I'll still call him that. I don't care. Yeah, I saw Sadiq Yusuf's breakdown of that, and he like hypes it up on how much research he did on it.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Jailton Almeida has really, really big muscles. So that's that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, he's much more of an athlete than Rozenstruik.
Ton of research put into that one.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Almeida win that fight, actually, because Rozenstruik's had his chance. And dude, I know, like...
Yeah, exactly.
What?
I can't let you jump on the bandwagon, dude. I'm sorry.
It's not a bandwagon. I'm coming off of the bandwagon that is Rozenstruik. Like, we've seen him time and time again. He builds his way up there and then he gets crushed.
Yeah. But
let's move away. Let's have Almeida put him away, kind of put a nail in that coffin. I don't care what happens to Almeida after that. I'm not a fan, really.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Sorry.
Right.
But
no, it's not a fucked up way of saying it.
Let's just progress the division, because I think there's a lot of great fighters in that division that need to start moving past guys like Rozenstruik, who fight every so often, and win and lose. When you have some guys who are mostly winning, let's keep the eyes on them. Rozenstruik, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely frustrating. But it's also...
I'm just being a hater. Let us know if that's a problem. I don't care.
I mean, fuck it, dude.
Say something.
Please. But... No, I don't think it's fucked up, because like the division, the heavyweight division is pretty fucking dead right now. John Jones is gonna have one more fight and he's fucking retiring. And
he wants it to be Stipe, and that sucks.
I said this right after he won the title, and it's like no one else has caught on to it now. Like all these fucking tabloids are like, John Jones hinting at retirement. It's like the motherfucker literally said in his post-fight press conference, like, I want my last fight to be against the greatest heavyweight of all time. Like, he does not plan on sticking around, dude.
No.
And I mean,
he proved he could do it, so now he wants to test himself for himself.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Maybe
What else does he have to prove?
Let me see him. I want to see him fight Jamal Hill.
I don't.
Jamal Hill surprised me, man, in that title fight, and I think he beats. I think he beats Yuri. But the heavyweight division is dead, and they need some life, and I think Jailton Almeida can really bring that in there.
Jamal Hill's a better fighter than Yuri.
Yeah.
Yuri's just much more interesting. So I think fans will get behind him more than they would Jamal Hill. Yeah. Like casual fans, but I think Jamal Hill's the better fighter.
Jamal Hills cracks me up though, dude. He's so fucking funny. And he's always stoned out of his mind, so it makes it so much better whenever he says some really sneaky funny shit. Like you gotta pay attention to when he's talking, you know. But like he'll say some shit and it's just like that was good. I don't think anyone else caught what you did there, but that was a good one. But yeah, man, I don't know. The heavyweight division definitely needs some movement. There's not much going on there. Not a lot of noise being made.
And it's because the focus, their main focus is on guys like Rosenstruck, like Curtis Blades, and like they win a couple and then they lose one, and when they lose, they freaking lose.
Yeah.
So it's like we're seeing their best guys, what they think the best guys are, or at least what's being advertised and marketed as the best guys lose. I think your better guys are Pavlovich, which I feel like I've been saying that for a while. Pavlovich and the other Sergey Spivak.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He's definitely improved a lot.
And I mean, people want to like him or not, he's really good. Aspinall, whenever he comes back, we'll see what happens. Anyway. July. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of guys that are really good, and they're not getting marketed very well by the UFC. But I think they're the future of the division, and you should have jumped on them a while back.
Yeah.
I think those guys are the kind of guys who will get better. I think I've brought this up on the show before, but a long time ago, I saw the future as Stefan Struve, Pat Barry, and Matt Mitrione. They weren't marketed. They weren't talked about. No one got to see them. They didn't grow as fighters. I wish they would have. This group, they will grow as fighters.
Yeah.
So I think they need to market them. I mean, for Pavlovich, it's kind of too late to try to start marketing him to get a fan base. He's going to get a title shot now.
Also, like, you know, with that division at that time, though, you had guys like Ken Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos, even guys like Frank Mir still winning. Shane Carwin, somebody else was just about to name that beat. Roy Nelson was even the fun heavyweight to watch.
Yeah,
you know,
and so what I'm saying is you had all those big, exciting guys, and what's going to happen when they're all done?
Yeah.
You have no one.
Yeah.
And all of those guys you named were all old at the same time.
Yeah.
So why not market these people?
Yeah.
The young guns who are exciting and they're actually talented fighters.
I mean, they brag about social media numbers with Power Slap. Why not make some fucking montages of like Pavlovich's finishes, or I don't know, man. Fucking hire us, dude. I got some great ideas. Fucking.
Yeah. Anyway, that's UFC 288. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think about this upcoming card? There's actually a lot of really fun fights on that card.
Yeah.
I just think
no one really cares.
A heavyweight headlining the card is exciting, but just because they're heavyweights doesn't make it exciting. I think both fighters can be exciting, but we'll see if it is or not.
And it's on ABC, so I think that's a big deal. That's always a big deal, so be sure to tune in and watch. But yeah, so Jailton Almeida is probably going to lose, but it's cool, I guess.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I can't tell what you mean by that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, you cursed him.
All right, yeah, that's true. I probably did. Let us know your thoughts and follow us on Instagram and stuff like that. You know, pretty rad.
Yeah.